All right, so I've recorded for many hours, and screen time tells me for many hours I recorded. It tells me that QuickTime encountered an error. So all my recording, my entire recording has disappeared. I'm recording again. So I am. Okay. So yeah, recording again. It always disappears. The evidence always disappears. So let's go here. Sharing is not back on again. Okay, so it's off, and let's see how many hours I recorded for. I recorded for 4 hours and 42 minutes. This is how long I recorded for. QuickTime only says 3 minutes here, which is always incorrect. It says 3 minutes here, but I've been recording for hours. So here is some of the screenshots. Recording this at 12:25. 10 o'clock, this is at 12:14. When I started recording was at 9 o'clock. I started recording at 9:07, and my recording from today, April 18th, has disappeared. I found bug type 115. They're at 9:28. So they've all disappeared. There's so many. They've all disappeared. Okay. So I've been recording. So here is, I started recording at 9:07 a.m. today, April 18th. There's a bug. So let's see here. I'm recording, and so I start recording, and battery is not charging. So I recorded for hours and hours. So going up. So at 9:40 I'm recording. There it is. And at 12 o'clock I'm still recording. At look at all these. At 12:57 I'm still recording to show that Apple Command Center, it says it's an Apple process, and I'm recording Apple WebKit networking, cache delete extension. Of course, all the evidence is there at 12:59, and the recording has disappeared. And QuickTime only says 3 minutes of recording here. But I've recorded for, go out, 4 hour, 45 minutes straight recording. All right. So the recording has disappeared, as is normal. All my evidence keeps disappearing. Oh, and it's not charging again. Battery is not charging, and now it's charging. So my recording disappeared, evidence constantly disappear, and that's the problem. So I'm gonna go over here from the 18th. I only have one screenshot from the 18th that I put in this folder, and it is this, that the lockdown mode, a front with a forbidden type has been blocked. And it's using WebKit networking and WebKit web content, and there I am recording at 12:30 p.m. today. It is 1:53. So the rest of them is from the previous day, from April 15th. I didn't use the Mac from April 15th. My next usage is April 18th. So what is not shown is all this data moving to other user processes via network. So even though you don't see that, it moving, all of this has been moved, all this data has been moved to other user processes. So this is one of the things that I documented repeatedly. I quit it, there, right there, other user processes, and it comes right back. Close that, and I go to MDNS responder, and I quit, and I force quit, and data is going to stalker. Okay, cannot quit. None of them, they're all restricted. All processes are restricted, and data is in shared memory. So bulk import is common. All of this nearby, all of this, nothing can be deleted. They come right back. MDNS, they look at all the data moving. I quit, I force quit. Yeah, so, and it's going to stalker, and it's going to stalker. So I always, they should be here, but it is set to go to appearance. So it's in lockdown mode. Packets are moving to stalker, and extension sharing is always turned on. Like I said before, it's it's always turned on. It turns itself on. Goodness, I lose my voice because I've been talking for more than 4 hours. All right, so let me. Okay, so let me go to these items from days before. Of course, they're all recorded. Recording keeps disappearing. So I'm going to open this up. It says 1969, bug type 115. I'm in lockdown mode. Sharing output destination right there. Command center. There's always state dump, cache delete. This is a desktop, all messy. Remove file. Private is always removing file. And this is, what's the date? 1970. So constant date changes. System data is 1642. I have to document. So a few days ago, this is just a few days ago, I had all the space, 142 gigabytes, and now I only have a tiny amount. Usage is 0, even though I've been using the Mac for a while. There we go. Other user processes is here. Oh, actually, I'm going to close this. I'm going to close this down. Data is always moving to other user. And I am going to document this. It is 1:57 p.m. now. So at 1:26 p.m., my Mac showed 107 GB in system data. At 1:27:43, how many seconds later? This is 1:26:59 and 1:27:43. It changed to 52 GB. At 1:28, it changed again to 37 GB after I emptied trash. I went to library. Library showed 48.85 GB at 1:21:31. I deleted some things. Some of them would come back. Group containers came back. Biome came back. They returned of their own accord. It says 280 MB in library. That's at 137. At 138, system data shows 4.61 GB. Trash, I move more stuff to trash. 49 GB in trash, then I empty trash. When I empty trash, system data grew to 52 GB. From 467 GB to 52 GBs. And 1:40 p.m., one after the other I documented. Library is 276 GB. So before I do anything else, I'm gonna go here. My recording has disappeared. My 4-hour plus recording has disappeared. So general, storage. Now I have 63. Now everything is calculating. System data is calculating. Now, what happened to my record? Now I have, hold on a second. It doesn't change. It doesn't stop. I have 153 here for documents. So they did remove my recording. So while I'm recording here, so here I am recording for the 4-hour 45 minutes recording. I'm recording. At that time I have 153 GB. Recording disappeared right there. And now I still have 153. And system data is now 749. 7.49 GB. So the last time I checked, at 138, it was 52 GB. And now at 159, it's 7.05 GB. All right. So that's what happens every time. The evidence are always disappearing. There we go. There. So I am going to go back to, hang on. Okay, quick time. Go back to my screen recording here. Yeah, I documented everything and they all disappeared. Okay, so these are the old ones except for the last lockdown blocked. Open. So there's always a reset and there's a bug. Like I said, 1969. Lockdown mode. Command center dumps everything. The moment I start to document, cache delete. Remove file, private removes file. Yes, when I started it's 142 GB. Usage, it doesn't show any usage. There's a service. Data moving constantly. That's how much in lockdown mode to other process, other user. It says January there, but it was April 2025. There's Pegasus, and there's self, not me. I'm not initializing self. That's my other self. That is my Mac is synced to. Everything is being filtered. Everything is filtered. Copy links always turns itself back on, and that's a Madrid, Apple Madrid. Cache delete constant. Always turns itself back on. Always turns itself back on. Filtering is bug is filtered. Lockdown mode. Debug, getting sync manager. Sync is the default. 1970. So I corrected the time. Bundle path is not a plugin or an app. Debug Bluetooth. And so drop down menu for QuickTime would not work for the longest time. I documented it, I recorded it using my phone, and then it started working. It fixes itself automatically. Connection count 65 in lockdown mode. 1970 is the date. Session name Wi-Fi debug. Key bag is unlocked. Debug kernel. Debug kernel. What else can I say? All messages. It's loading archive, but then it filters. It filters everything. It filters actually 3 times. This filtering and then the solid blue line filtering. Filtering, everything is filtered. Sync account. There's no log message for activities. And then there's logs for activities. Some of them only. Fault. So preview doesn't work. QuickTime doesn't work when I'm trying to document. Requesting start. Who is requesting start? WebKit, web content is a Pegasus process. It's denial machine lookup. ANE disabled. It's an ANE system. Filtering. Everything missing message here. Missing log messages. There's the command center. Dictionary. Debug. It's sending down new services while in lockdown mode. This turns itself on constantly. Sharing D. Services added in lockdown mode. Sending down new services. Private. Commands are private. Everything private. It's filtering. It's not blocking. It's already connected, but I have no Wi-Fi and I'm in lockdown mode. Yep, this client is gone. Who's the client? It's stalker Luke Dalla Bona. Missing logs. Error. It will not update. Wi-Fi peer-to-peer. 9th time. It will not show the listener port. Always filtering. ANE. Endpoint is private. ShareKit. Mask is private. ISP CPU. Apple H13 camera is an interface. Found matching kernel in private. So I have 2 kernels. Debug. No message here. Message empty. Kernel messages are empty. Yep. Client error. Ambiguous user identity is a client. Fault. Full report for the console that failed. Bug 309. So 115309. I have to take pictures of my screen because they disappeared just like my recording. This is empty. Firewall. App firewall log is empty. 1976 ALF empty. So these are just some of the There's no such file or directory. It says I've been using the Mac for 11 hours 27 minutes, but that's all. Who has been using the Mac here? Somebody has, not me. That's not me. Right? So this is activity monitor. This is screen time. Do not focus here was turned on. Then I click on off, and I got this one. They're on, but grayed out. So this was recorded on April 14th. This says completed at Thursday, April 15th. So it shows no pickup. No pickup. Remote view controller. There's my MacBook Air. I had 114 GB. System data is that. But of course it keeps changing all the time. But it has nothing to do with me. System data changes on its own. This was on. And the tech, I don't know what that is. Okay, anonymous UUID when console quit. So it when QuickTime, when my recording disappeared, I did not get this log message or report. I only received when console quit. External modification summary. Bug type 309. The source is private. Sent to Apple, and the report disappears. Console quit unexpectedly. When they don't want me to look at the console logs, they disappear, or they the entire log just disappears, or the log messages quickly disappear. MAD service. Preview deny. Requiring rights for private. Caller is private. Private is a system owner. Okay, all user, because var is empty. Deny host. Deny machine lookup. Peer connection. Private is now preview, and private is now finder. Bug 309. Streaming audio always. Worker hasn't started their shift as yet. The name is anonymous. Trigger is private. Private is now finder. And private is every single process on the Mac. Grandmaster identity. My Apple ID is nil. User probably not signed in. Not me, the user, but the other user, my other self. Keep the client. Don't remove him. Which is Dalla Bona, my stalker. MDNS responder, everything restricted, cannot be terminated. You terminate it and it comes right back. Packets, always moving to, all processes. I had it, I always have it on other user, and blink, it changes to all processes. And by host, there's a host. QuickTime encountered an error, always. It will not record. Finder. QuickTime is running here, but it's not open here, and it's not shown as open here. The malware piggybacks on QuickTime and preview. Where is my system log? It's at private. System data, We are back to no accounting for what is in system data. Yeah. August 29th. This is before previously, August 29th, the actual date. In sharing, I have airdrop and auto unlock. I keep removing them, they keep coming back. There we go, system data, 120 gigabytes, half the Mac is system data. But and library has 107 GB. Well, I've already documented what happens to over 100 GB, it just disappears. Have identity service. When Mac was last used, August the 29th, and then last used August 29th, and then again between August 29th and April 14th, it was not used. MDNS responder, there's data going to other user processes, always. I restart the Mac. When I restart the Mac, this is not my password. My password does not have so many characters. That's not my password. When I restart the Mac, automatically I get that. There's already a password there. I have to remove it and put in my password. That's not my password. My password has 4 characters. And of course, there's always an active connection in lockdown mode. I have to take screenshots. Here we go. Activity monitor deallocated. Activity bookkeeping could be inaccurate. There we go. It's always inaccurate. Leaked resource access span and no data. Identifier is private. Lockdown mode, everything going to other user. Active process, active connection in lockdown mode. And now usage is not full gray, but it was full gray before, which I documented. Now I have a pickup of QuickTime. So I've already documented 8:40:25 a.m. System data is 36 GB. And then at 8:40:25 it's 36. So 8:40:25. So 8:40:49 it changed to 5:93. Yeah, and it still continues. Data type not yet set for stream. Yes, it's always streaming. Simulating crash, always. More data going to stalker. Did not find a primary Apple account for the local user. Deny, file read. Pegasus.png. Yeah, path is at private. No such file or directory, but it's a process. It's an active process. And log messages quickly disappear, constantly disappear, and copy link always turns itself back on. Speaks for itself. Data moving, lockdown mode. Windows Server, this was constantly changing. Restricted and shared memory. Bulk import. Look at the amount of data moving to other user in lockdown mode, and there's a Windows Server again in shared memory. Localhost, lockdown mode. Can't get the mount point. No logs, it all disappeared. Everything disappears, just like my recording, my QuickTime recording of 4 hours 45 minutes. No such file or directory. System data, here we go again. 1765, and then suddenly it's 626. So 941 it's 1765, 942, it's 626. Library. I also have a Safari in library, I have a mail in library. I've got identity service in library, 4.11 GB here, but system data says 784 GB after empty trash. The disk is not a member of the APFS volume group, private. So the code sometimes will send to me, sometimes it will send to Adit. It changes all the time. That's what the Mac does. Throttling warm up for session. So I'm just starting up. And I search Pegasus, and this is what I got, Pegasus kit, parsec warm up. Pegasus kit, proxy infrastructure, Pegasus kit. So they use datagrams. They download during lockdown mode. This time I have Wi-Fi on. With Wi-Fi on, other user process. Here's what I have under network, other user process. That's packets moving into the Mac, massive. There's extension. So, other user, and that's the packets moving in to other user under network. Multiple points, extensions, other user processes. I have Wi-Fi on, shared memory, restricted, and this is the data moving to other user. Of course I recorded it, but things disappear constantly. And they clean up. Connection 1 is cleaning up. This is nothing new. I scroll all the way down here, and there's no more logs. It's at the bottom, no more log messages. My Mac would not show me my emails. This is March 28th email, and on April 15th, it will only show me the last email, March 23rd. It will not show me my other emails. It happens on the phone as well. Here I am emailing, and massive amount of data is entering the Mac through other user processes using network. Okay. Oh, and verification code. This time is going to another email address, PAM email. So yep, ANE powered on. It's gated. The client, Luke Dalla Bona, is requesting power on, and he is media analysis. That is him. And there's an active connection with lockdown mode and no Wi-Fi, which is a constant. There's media analysis, which is Stalker, and it's Pegasus as well. And it tells me I've recovered my account. I didn't know I had lost my account. Active connection, again, recording 3 hours, 55 minutes, always recording. iTunes Cloud is a deny. Force quit. Console has QuickTime icon, and QuickTime has the QuickTime icon, and Finder has console icon. Container manager, deny. Running binary, security, disable library validation, ANE powered on, user, by host, yes. There's lots more in there. And the plugin dictionary is private, which is a known Pegasus process. Plugin disallowed for client. The host does not have entitlement. We have QuickTime Player, deny. Service worker. So they loaded. The bundle is private, I think. So device is opened by client. A&E device. A&E device is closed, but the device is opened by client. So media analysis, that's Stalker. Shared database. Customization sync. Extension state sync. Incoming request. No such process. Sandbox restriction. Remote proxy. Interface is ENO. Interface ENO. Well, there's a whole lot more here. Page proxy. Everything is a proxy. Proxy. Process is plugin host. Loaded extension. Connection is interrupted, and then I see that there's an active connection. So first it's interrupted, and then it shows an active connection in lockdown mode. Yeah, now it's sending it to a DIT. It sends to a DIT, or it sends to PAM. The verification code. I have 2 sessions. One session on Android Pixel, and on the Mac I have 2 sessions on 2 Macs. One 8 hours ago, one 9 hours ago. Signed out of one. So it says here at 9:51 that I have 2 sessions. So 9:51 I have 2 sessions. At 9:52 I have 3 sessions. There we go, 3. So when the moment I signed out of that one, another one starts. And so it goes, delivering update to host, 9 plugins. Do not proceed. Final decision, can proceed. So once there's a host startup, it can proceed. They can proceed. Client is gone. Call is active. Interface is private. Command center. All console user IDs is private, are private. Lockdown mode, forbidden, is blocked. Right. So that's from August, a few from August to 2024. Then I stopped using the Mac for months. Started again on April 14th. And this is today with the everything that disappeared. I want to go here, copy link. I have 44 copy link. That turns itself on. I'm going to play this one. This one is from April 15th. There's copy link here. I'm in lockdown mode. And there it turned itself on. And it's a constant. So I have 44 of them here. There's much more of copy link turning itself on. And of Stalker stuff, data is moving to Stalker again. And of course we're in lockdown mode. It goes back to appearance, even though it should stay here. Privacy and security, lockdown mode. Data is always moving to Stalker. Lockdown mode. I'm going to go to extension, see if this is turned on. Yes, of course it's turned on. turn back on, which is common. And so I have today's screenshots. I'm sure most of them have been deleted, as is the norm. So at 12:43 p.m. I'm recording, and I have 363 items in that folder. Let's see how many has disappeared. Oh, it says 362 now. It says 362. But at 12:43, I had 363 items. Open that. Open. So I did not document everything, and from my recording there I am recording today, April 18th. Notification block disabled, and I'm going to stop talking. It speaks for itself. I'm going to go back one. Now, Bluetooth is off. It's always off, but the Mac uses Bluetooth. So, always filtering. Always filtering. A second filter is always filtering. And then all the Bluetooth messages disappeared. Then they all disappeared. The group is private. It has 11 activities queued in the framework. Filtering. I'm going to key in Bluetooth. B-L-E. I spelled it incorrectly, but it's still filtering. Magic paired devices is filtered as well, and the messages are gone. Forcing account update to Bluetooth. Initiate sync, sign in. Receive cloud sync, sign in status. So it's using Bluetooth when Bluetooth is turned off. So for cloud, it filtered twice. It did it, yeah. Which was in the recording that disappeared. And then all logs disappeared for iTunes Cloud. The back profile is iTunes Cloud. I do not use iTunes, of course. Filtering. Filtering. Data is always moving to other user account. Screen capture. Streaming camera history, because it is a member of device with media type. Wombats must be eligible. Remote configuration, debug override. Yep, continues to go. That continues to move up. Data continues to go to Stalker, who is Luke Dalla Bona, the author, Luke Dalla Bona. Override is twice filtered, which was in the recording. Intelligence platform, do not proceed. Filtering for override. Sync is the default. These are all debug. The black dots are all debug. Filtering, override. Windows serve, override again, filtering. Complete foreground, move, triggered sync for store. Synchronizing with cloud, but I haven't signed into my Apple ID. So the black dot is always debug. Remote configuration, debug override. There we go. Debug the interface. Filtering, debug. A key in debug and it's filtering. It filters twice for debug. Loading archive. The child processes. There's so many child data being sent, and it's all private. Cloud is private, but I'm not signed into my ID. It's empty. These two are empty. There we go, it's empty. Cleaning up, always cleaning up. The group is local. Okay, XPC error on connection from our client. So invalidating it and our connection. There we go, CFPREFSD is not, there's no such directory, right there, no such directory, but it's a constant process in other user activity monitor. Deny. It's already in cache, to UUID. Remote view controller does not override private. User is 501, it's local, it's a group. Admin local is a member of that group. Text input, switcher, yes, as I type, they change my words. Text input switcher is private. Debug, this is volatile. It's sent over multicast. New connection from peer. It's an IPC machine. Server state is running and then it stopped running. All routes are private. They're sending messages in lockdown mode with no visible Wi-Fi. So at 11 o'clock, there was system migration at 11 o'clock. That is why, one of the reasons why my recording disappeared, because there's always a system migration. One of the reasons, see, I did not sign into my Apple ID. Sync is the default. Synchronizing with cloud. Debug. Debug. And debug is 29,944 messages for debug, even though it was filtered twice. Kernel management. Logs are missing for these. State dump by the command center. So datagrams, IPv6, multicast, right here. To interface, 48 socket multicast job since boot, joins since boot. Packets received, packets sent from this host. Lots of data moving to Stalker, who is Luke Dalla Bona, the author. Packets from this host, packets received, major packets received, datagrams output, debug, streaming and datagram, and there's private, unexpected kind. There's private var, diagnostic socket, MDNS responder, which I cannot turn off. Active internet, IPv6 network interface. It's empty. Most of the error folder information is empty. So this is the error folder behind me. Fingerprint, 696 fingerprints loaded. Debug is urgent. 696 fingerprint loaded. Debug is urgent. This is the error folder. OS kernel failure. No such process. And they exit the, there we go, data moving. The moment I start running diagnostic, things are exited and deinitialized. Underflow occurred. Invalid argument, cannot open service. Data not found. Empty. Because a folder, not a folder. Feature is not supported. File operations might not work correctly. No variant specified, unable to open device, operation not permitted, exited, could not find partition, dump logs, empty, no such file or directory, could not extract name from mount point. Data continues to move to Stalker, Luke Dalla Bona, the author. Luke Dalla Bona, the author. So no files, empty. And there we go, data moving to Stalker in lockdown mode. No Wi-Fi. There again, data moving to Stalker in lockdown mode, no Wi-Fi. And constantly data moving to Stalker in lockdown mode, no Wi-Fi. Data moving to Stalker in lockdown mode, no Wi-Fi. MDNS is terminated, but it comes right back up. Again and again, lockdown mode, data moving to Stalker. It is a pure connection, invalid argument, and TMP folder is at private. Share cache from console crash. Apple remote pairing from console crash. Bug type 309. Shared memory. Remote pairing. Socket is private. Misuse of API. So lockdown mode is supposed to be extreme if I think I am hacked. And so it's in lockdown mode, but I still have an active connection. Okay, connection debug. Extension, yes. Connection open for client. The bundle is private. Missing log here, the message. Sync. Mask is private. Sync. Console sync. Sharing services sync for mask private. It's a Willow configuration. And under activities, no logs. It's sync. Activities again. Account, it will not show me the account. It will not show me the user who's XPC proxy. It will not member of API. Nope, it will not show me. It will not show me the imports. It will not show me the group list, etc., etc. The ANE system deinitialized. Power down. Command is completed. Interface. Command firmware. ANE. Initialized. Client. Going to give me the info. Unique string. Application exited. Command center. Sending 1 contacts to 4 observers. Adding observer. Client. Dictionary. Dictionary is private. The daemon dictionary is private. Requesting shared ownership. Yep, and they purge everything. Connection ID using sync, yes. Port name for private. Granted. Upload manager is requesting that they flush the data. Session end requested by cloud, and I didn't even sign into my Apple ID. Trigger private is Finder, and Finder is always running. Final decision, do not proceed. Please file a bug for private. Final decision, must not proceed. Activity is now trigger private is now activity monitor. So the trial version that they have is it says do not proceed. Spotlight, do not proceed. Schedule sync, do not proceed. Plugin service, do not proceed. Private is also system preferences. It's a number, system preferences. It's every process on the Mac. Activities are all private, they're hidden. What's that? Data collection. Remote management. Sync. Bird. Sync. Everything sync. On the Pixel 9. Family. I do not use family. I haven't signed into my Apple ID. Do not proceed. MDNS responder. Yeah. Lockdown mode. Must not proceed. Is valid until private. Private is now a number. It's 96. It can be 0, 96, or any other number. Deny, 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 deny. Country code cache is denied. Endpoint security is denied. Okay, A&E, remove capture. Establishing new connection. In lockdown mode, all of it, all these screenshots were taken in lockdown mode. The volumes belong to private, multi-volume, but the information is missing. Cloud system cache, delete. Helper, deleted. Cache delete extension. Private is a root-only service. So they have a cursor, but I can't see their cursor. So when they drag something, they drag and delete. I can't see that dragging and deleting. Already been deleted. Ubiquitous KVS proxy is unlocked. Cloud keychain, I do not use cloud. This constantly turns itself on. Copy link. Running, but it's not visible. Not visible. Found host. NFC is host. Found host. Extensions are loaded in lockdown mode. $25 plugins for private. Massive data always moving to other user. Cannot terminate him. Oh, look at that. No wonder he deleted the recordings. There we go. Lockdown mode, no Wi-Fi. MDNS responder and network of other user. Again, so it doesn't matter how many times I terminate it comes right back for other user. Same here. Willow configuration. Account status is not signed in. Peer connection. Password sharing with error. Permission denied. Private. Try to access private and is on sandbox or using security personal information. Calendars entitlement. Private. Luke Dalla Bona. Attempted to access restricted account. Yes. Type is Apple account. It doesn't exist. Plugin dictionary is private. System owner is private. Yeah, two equal instances have unequal identities. Okay, I should stop talking now. The thing speaks for itself. All right, is that 362, 63? 363. Let's see how much data has moved to Stalker. I just saw a whole bunch there. So all of this has moved to Stalker. Luke Dalla Bona, the author. There's CFPREFSD. There is no such process, but it's a process in other user processes. Okay, everything restricted, shared memory. Okay, and I'm going to go here, 70 screenshots. There's 136 over here. That's older. I wouldn't go there. It's essentially saying that, oh, sharing D. Lots of sharing D. There's always an active process at 9:08. I've been recording all this time from 9:08. Lockdown mode is on. Open. All right, so this is launch log today at 12 o'clock while I was recording, and the recording disappeared, and it all speaks for itself again. Command center. It spawns services, not it spawns. The internal event, the source, spawns these services. Remote view, manage client, hosting, and on and on. WebKit networking, so again it's all launch. So they're loading in lockdown mode. No Wi-Fi, no visible Wi-Fi. The client, of course, is private, or Luke Dalla Bona, the author. The device is unique. Unable to find the device. Paired devices, but it wouldn't give me the information. Lockdown mode, Bluetooth, no Wi-Fi. Deny. Wouldn't give me the information. Clearing auto unlock device cache. Operation not supported. No such process. That's another service, but there's no such process on Apple. Logger. 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 Matching service. Streaming. So they shut down and they clean up. I think they clean up first before they shut down. Manage client. there. So that should have been 70 screenshots. So again, lots of disappearing things. QuickTime has already removed the 4 hours, 4 hours 45 minutes. Has disappeared. Okay, more data moving. There we go.